أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين فإنه خير ناصر ومعين. Today is 3rd October 2010. We are having session number 5 of MNC 1 Series 2. Okay, so what we want to discuss today is a lot of it relates to what you just watched on the projector about placenta. What we learned from last week, if you remember from last week and probably a couple of weeks ago when we spoke all about all those different souls, and then we spoke about animal soul, and then I told you all this source of our sinning comes from which soul? Animal. From animalistic soul or animal soul. And but we did say that though animal soul is very important and required. It's not that you can throw it away, right? That means we have to eat, we have to sleep, all of these things which 5 senses we need, we use, comes from our animalistic soul, but they are needed anyway for our life. And remember we discussed also, can we live without animal soul? Can a human be without animal soul? Can an animal be with human soul? No. Animal does not have human soul. Okay, now, did you see that placenta? Okay, that placenta basically is the whole life of that child, Irfan. The whole life of that child is dependent on that placenta. But however, when you look, when the child is born, it cries. She doesn't want to come out. Why?
Because it doesn't want to be separated from the placenta.
Yes, because it's so much attached to that placenta, because all her life is that. All her life is that placenta. You know, all the children, they cry when they come out, because that place for them is so cozy and warm, and everything they want to eat, they get it from the placenta, right? They don't want to come out. Do you know what happens? I tell you. Do you know what happens if you cut, let's say, a child which is only 6 months in the mother's womb? If the placenta is cut off, what happens?
No, they can stay alive.
No?
Yeah, they won't.
Really?
Yes, they go to hospital children until they...
No, if they are born out. If they're still in the mother's womb without that placenta, they cannot. Okay? So Rekha, what are you talking about?
Are we just doing this quiz?
Doing what?
This quiz on them for understanding us?
No, forget about it. Now let's just concentrate on what I'm doing. So if you cut that placenta out and bring it out of the life of that child, that fetus cannot survive anymore, right? However much we people outside mother's womb, you can imagine, which is very imaginable. If we can talk, we can communicate with that fetus or child ready to be born. Say, come out, it's a much better world, it's so much bigger. It's so much bigger, it's so much freer. You can go around, do all of these things. Does he live it? Does he come out? No. No matter how much you explain. So, see how good is this word. Because this word is definitely, by any standard, is millions times better than the word in the mother's womb. Is it not? Is it or it is not? Yes or no? Why? You've got more space, you've got more choice, you've got more freedom, you've got more moving abilities, you've got a lot of, you develop your senses, you can see, you can hear, you can touch. There's so many things that poor child does not even know about it. So however much we ask him to come out, he doesn't come out. He doesn't like to come out because he thinks or she thinks that's a better environment. See, for us, that was the placenta in mother's womb. What we are living in this world, we have got our placenta here. What is the placenta here for us? If you compare that to the life of that child in the mother's womb, what is our placenta here?
The food, the oxygen that we breathe.
Yes, Ahsan. What else? All those things that we are dependent on is our placenta here. We want to eat, we want to touch, we want to see, we want to hear, right? we want to marry, we want to have children, all of this. If people who have died, right? People who have died and they are in other world, no matter how much they tell us, if they could communicate with us, the dead people tell us, come on, come here, see what a big world is here. We don't want to go, do we? We all want to be with our own life here. I want my family, my wife, my life, my car, my house, my food, my chelo kebab, my rice, my salad, right? These are placenta for us. Placenta is something that you totally become dependent on it, and you don't want to leave it, and you don't want to move to the higher world. What is avoiding us to go to higher world? This placenta. That is the affiliation and liking that we have developed for all the things around us. Right? When people who are those greedy people who are in all the time in the effort of gaining more and more money, more and more this, more and more that, and having bigger house, bigger car, they want to have airplane, they want to have personal airplanes, they want to, but we have noticed that these things never ends. Whatever we human being acquires here of this material type of things, it never satisfies him, does it? Do you see people say, okay, I'm enough, I have enough, I don't want anything more? No. Unless the people have got his intellectual soul actualized. So he knows, this is a never-ending race. If his human soul is not actualized, he keep wanting and asking and for more and more and more, still he's not happy and satisfied. So it's important that we can get rid of the placenta here, our placenta here. How do we get rid of our placenta here? You tell me? Ferishte? That's your name? Yes. Right? How do you get rid of your placenta? You?
By using a human soul and using knowing more about God.
Yes, good. That was good answer. Yes?
By not being too attached to material.
Ahsan, that was a better answer. Yes?
Getting more knowledge.
Ahsan, that is another good answer. Getting more knowledge, because when you get more knowledge, that means you actualize your human soul. When you actualize your human soul, then you are able to see how you can still use food and house and car and all this clothing, but only in terms of what you need, right? Not what you want to have it more and more and more. Very good. So we have to work towards making our placenta. We are losing our liking for our placenta. We need it. We cannot leave it, because if you leave it, that means you die. But using it in a reasonable way and reasonable amount. Okay? Now, that was one thing I wanted you to know. The other thing I want you to know is, you remember we spoke about potential and actual? Yes? You all remember? What was potential? You?
Potential is when you have the ability to do something but you don't.
Ahsan. Very good. A loud salawat for her. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Potential is when you have an ability to become something, or something has got an ability to become something, like a seed of a tree. A seed of an apple tree has got potential to become an apple tree. Now, here what I want you to understand is this. If you take a seed, if that seed does not go under the earth, can it become tree? No. Is it possible? If a seed is gone under the earth but does not take the water, can it become a tree? No. So basically the seed does need to go under that environment, which is under the earth. That means darkness. It goes under the soil. In the soil, it's dark. Wetness, that humidity there, coldness, is it not? Don't think that seed it doesn't understand. All of these things, and loneliness, is alone there, until when he accepts all of this, Alion, when the seed accepts all of this, when the seed accept all of this to go under the soul, to go through this, what I term is a bit of discipline, right? It's a discipline for it. Must go there and accept some of these things which do not look good and enjoying. As I said, darkness, coldness, wetness, all of this. Unless it does that, it cannot grow to a tree. Right? You agree? So, Irfan, when that seed grows to become an orange tree or an apple tree, it has reached to its potential. When something reaches from potentiality to its becomes totally actual, what do we call that? Prosperity. Everyone understand what is prosperity? Yes? What is in Farsi prosperity? Do you understand prosperity? Irfan, do you know what is prosperity? No one knows? Prosperity means خوشبختی. And in Arabic it's called Sa'adah. You understand? Sa'adah? No?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, where are you? Sa'adah or خوشبختی or prosperity. So, when a potential reaches to its full actual level, it's called prosperous. So, yes.
How can you, like, you said it about the seed, how can you do, like, say it like that, but like about humans, how do we accept?
How do we become prosperous in that term?
No, how do we accept something that's in our nature, like a seed, it has to accept that it has to be alone and
No, I tell you. I'm getting there. So, basically, prosperity or خوشبختی or sa'ada is when something fully actualizes its potentiality. When a seed, an apple seed, grows to a big apple tree and gives those apple fruits, then it has become prosperous or خوشبخت or sa'ada. Sorry? No, happiness is a byproduct of prosperity. Means prosperity is when you reach a state of what you could have become, you have become. That is prosperity. Right? So when a seed does not go under the earth, does not actualize its potentiality. Yes, Farishte? If a seed does not go under the earth, does it actualize its potentiality? No. So that means it does not become prosperous, because prosperity, the definition of prosperity is when all the potentiality is actualized. So similarly for human being, you remember we spoke that humanity for us we have got the seed of a human. We are not a human when we are born. We have got the seed of it. You remember that? Do you? We have got the seed of a human. That means we have to actualize our potentialities to become a human. Which soul needs is doing that? Which of our souls? Ibrahim? Ahsan, intellectual or human soul? So that is our human soul, which develops from potentiality to actuality. Do you remember what we discussed about how a potential becomes actual? Do you remember that? Yeah. For insan, that was 4 things, right? One was mindfulness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all times. These are the things that human seed. For we said that in previous weeks, we said for a plant seed to grow to actuality, it needed 4 things. What were those 4 things? Sun, water, air, soil. Right? And then we said for insan, seed of insan needs 4 things to grow. What was those 4? Mindfulness of Allah, to be with the right people, and knowledge, which is the knowledge of Allah, and knowing and loving not only 12 Imam and Ma'sumin, Hazrat Fatima Salamu alayha, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So these are the 4 things required for our seed of human seed to grow to actuality. Otherwise, we remain as a potential. That means when we remain as a potential, that means we are not prosperous. Masalan, Saddam, he wasted his potential, human potential. He never actualized himself to a potential, to an actual human. So he did not become prosperous. Prosperous is a person when he has fully developed his potentiality, then in hereafter goes to heavens and meets with good people, meets with and Masumi. Understand, Zulaikha? No? What of it you don't understand?
What you said.
What I said is, our humanity is a seed only. When you are born, if you don't work on it, you cannot grow to a human. No matter how many years you live, even if you live 80 years, if you have not developed your human soul, you do not become a human. And what were those 4 things, Zulaikha, to develop you from your human soul from potential to actual?
Mindfulness of Allah.
Mindfulness of Allah.
Right people.
To be with right people.
Knowledge of Allah.
Knowledge of Allah. And
knowing and following of Prophet Imams.
knowing and following of Ma'sumin. Okay?
But what if a person is really good but then they just don't know God, like they just don't believe in God? They do, but they're not really.
That means they cannot fully actualize their potential. Some of their potential it becomes actual, a lot of them does not become actual. So there are people that are less prosperous, masalan, right? But the full prosperity is when we fully actualize our potentiality. Is this clear what I said? So imagine 2 seeds. 2 seeds. When you look at each other, one of them has gone under the earth, has become a great apple tree with all the fruits, and another seed has not gone under the earth. Sorry? Has not gone under the earth and stayed above the earth, has not grown to anything. When these seeds look at the other seed and the tree, you feel very sorry for what he has done, is it not? So if our human seed remains in that state, in Akhirat, that's the conversation between people of heaven and people of hell. This is in Quran. So people of heaven are those who have grown to the real human. People of hell are those people who have not grown into human. So when they look at each other, they talk to each other, the other side, those who have not, who have left their potentiality and never actualized it, those feel sorry for what they did not do when they were in this world. Yes?
Hello?
Yes? Understood?
They're typing.
Yes, Irfan? Understood? Okay, that's fine. You forgot to put it on. Now you turn your mobiles off. So it is very important for us, 2 things. So we lose our liking and love for our placenta in this world. That's 1. Second is we develop our human seed, put it under the earth. What is to put your human seed under the earth? I mean, this is a simulation, otherwise we don't go under the earth for growth. But same as when a seed goes under the earth to grow, what is the human soul to go under the earth in that way? What?
Just appreciate your life like the seed appreciates its life and it doesn't complain.
It's good, but not enough.
Actualizing your potentiality.
Yes, how? That's the question, how?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Being mindful of the 4 things.
Definitely. There are 4 things. That's basically there are 4 things. 4 things we said. They're all said in Quran. That means you have a life where what Quran says about it, about our life. Basically, religion. Following our religion, following Islam is similar to that seed going under the earth. What does that mean? That means when we little bit grow, we become 14, 15 in your age of the girls. You don't think, oh, I've become so beautiful, such a nice hair I have. Go in front of, all the time, go in front of the mirror, see, why should I hide this from the people? So much beauty, everybody should know it. So, no, honestly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Sorry?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's exactly, nothing wrong with that. What happens, you're right. This is exactly the state of that seed. That seed which should go under the earth, for instance, is when you come so beautiful in front of the mirror, you have to say, no one should see this. Allah has said. That's very similar that you go under the earth. That means you have to feel that coldness, wetness, darkness under the soil. For insan it's the same thing. These are the difficult part. We are beautiful, we want to be seen, but we want to hide ourselves. That's a pressure, right? That's the pressure, like the pressure of a seed under the earth, under the soil. Do you understand, Zulekha?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. Is if you say nothing wrong means doing it, let other people see me, let other people enjoy me, right? If you think that way, then at Akhirat we are like that seed which has not gone under the earth, has not developed any of its potentiality. So it's crying in the hell, basically. So these are very two similar things. So you go and think about yourself, oh, my mother says do this, my father says do this, and I don't want to do. No, I want to go out, I want to be with my friends, I want to be with that, I want to be with this, right? These are, again, those pressures that we have to accept if we want to go, to be like that seed, to go under the earth. So I've asked you in these questions later on, that you said, you have to think of the daily life examples of how like a seed, you have to watch yourself. Some of those pressures you have to say, because each of you have got your own pressures. It's different from my pressure. It's different from Irfan's pressure, right? Irfan's pressures might be like his father is telling him, you have to see and do your studies very well, and he doesn't like to, so he wants to go to football now, right?
Keep quiet.
Yeah.
And listen in the class.
Yeah, and if you are asked to keep quiet and listen to the class, that type of pressure, if you don't accept, then you don't learn. When you don't learn, it's like that seed has not accepted that the pressure of the earth on it. Do you see the relevance, the relationship of these two? Is it clear? Yes? Abraham, do you see that relationship? Yes? Okay, so I'll leave it for today. This is good enough. And inshallah, next week we continue our talks, and I give you now your quiz. By Muhammad al Muhammad Salawat.